It was a quiet autumn evening when HOA Karen decided to escalate her antics to an outrageous level. She rammed through my wall in a fit of rage, attempting to assert her self-imposed authority and intimidate me into compliance. The audacity was staggering. She believed that physical destruction combined with her HOA rules could force me to concede property and control. What she didn't anticipate, however, was that I was fully prepared for such reckless behavior. The moment I heard the crash, I rushed to the scene and found Karen partially inside my property, surrounded by the debris of the wall she had smashed through. Her face twisted in anger, assuming her bold move would shock me into submission. Instead, I remained calm, assessing the damage and documenting every detail with photos, video, and statements from neighbors who had witnessed her rampage. Every action, every word, every destructive act was meticulously recorded for legal purposes. Karen immediately began shouting, claiming that her actions were justified by some imagined HOA authority and insisting that I remove the debris myself or face consequences. I calmly informed her that her actions were illegal, that she had committed property damage, and that her continued presence could lead to arrest. Her theatrics, usually so intimidating to neighbors, were now being systematically dismantled by evidence, documentation, and calm authority. Within moments, I contacted the local authorities, providing full documentation of the incident. When they arrived, Karen attempted to argue her case, citing HOA rules and making bold claims about property control. The officers listened patiently, then reviewed the evidence. Photographs of the damage, video footage of her actions, and testimony from witnesses. It became immediately clear that she was entirely at fault. As a result, Karen faced immediate legal consequences. She was cited for property damage and trespassing, and I filed a civil suit to recover the costs of repairs. The courtroom battle that followed only solidified the public record of her overreach. Her attempt at intimidation, which involved ramming through walls and creating chaos, ended with her liability legally established and her credibility in the community shattered. Neighbors who had observed the events learned an important lesson. Theatrics, aggression, and self-assumed authority cannot prevail against preparation, evidence, and lawful action. Karen's attempt to terrorize and coerce me through destruction instead became a public demonstration of her recklessness and inability to respect legal boundaries. By the end of the week, my property was repaired. HOA Karen faced legal repercussions, and her influence in the neighborhood was further diminished. Reflecting on the incident, it was clear that calm authority, strategic documentation, and legal knowledge had turned what could have been a disaster into a decisive victory. The lesson was unmistakable. Arrogance, aggression, and overreach are powerless when met with preparation, evidence, and lawful enforcement.